I decided to work with Faerie Magick and the elementals for my spell for the global community. Quarantine Creations is a tag that was made by the Green Witch and Little Cosmic Crow on YouTube. For my spell, I decided to create a flower mandala with flower petals and crystals. Using Faerie Magick, I gave a blessing to each petal that I chose. I then left the petals in the sunlight to soak in sun magic, and I left the crystals outside as an offering to the Fae to carry out my spell and blessings both to the earth as well as everyone and every being in the world. When creating a flower mandala of your own, and if you would like to work with this specific spell and to work with fairies, then I will give you a little bit of a guideline as to how I went about creating this mandala. I went into the garden, and if you do not have a garden or access to an outside space at this time, then perhaps if you have a patch of sunlight that you can go and sit in and meditate, or if it's nighttime and you gaze out at your window and you look at the moon, or perhaps you have a crystal, a representation of the earth, or you have a little plant. Sit with this plant, sit with the crystal, sit in the sunlight, gaze at the moon, and really connect to the elements, thereby connecting to the Fae, who are gatekeepers of the earth. They are here to look after the earth, and they are deeply tied to and connected to the earthly realm. Deep connection to flowers and plants, the sunlight and nature is often the way we connect to the fairy realm, as they are protectors of the earth and the guardians of the earth. Once you have found yourself in a meditative state, whether this be with a crystal, the sunlight, walking in the garden, sitting with a plant, ask the Fae how they would like you to connect with them. For my particular spell, it was through a flower mandala. I went about and I found some petals on the floor. When working with the fairies and Faerie Magick, always ask the plant if it consents to being picked and being used for your spell. You will often always get an answer from the plant. When I work with the Fae, I like to use plants and flowers which are already on the ground, because I see these as an offering from the fairies. After collecting the flowers that I was drawn to, I began creating my mandala. With each petal laid down, I said a prayer for our global community and embedded deep blessings and healing energy within each flower laid down. And I asked the Fae to carry out these blessings as I leave my flower mandala to be mulched by the earth, blown away by the wind. I pray that the healing medicine will flow deep into the earth as the plants are mulched, and as the wind blows them away, I hope they are carried to those who are in need. And to reinforce this spell, I decided to Reiki both the flowers, the crystals, as well as to dig my hands very gently into the soil of the earth, into the mother, and Reiki her, Reiki our earth, and send blessings of deep love, peace, and harmony to all those who have been affected by this pain. I then said aloud the spell that the Green Witch and Little Cosmic Crow had created, and I'll write it on the screen so that you too can create your own spell and use their writing as a guideline for your own spell.